Hi, Flosstube. Welcome back to Coco the Creative. I'm Coco, and this is Flosstube number 8. Today is October 1st. It is officially the end of Sampler September, which was the stitchy event that I decided to participate in for the month of September. So I'm going to go over all my progress with Sampler September, kind of like where I am with that and how I felt about it, because this is the first time that I've ever done it. And yeah, then I'm going to go through my other stitches and kind of like my plans for October. And then at the end, I kind of want to talk about books. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I worked on, at the beginning of September, I had like, I think 4 or 5 different samplers that I was working on. And through a series of events, I whittled it down to 2 and then just one other little one that I was working on very casually. So the one that I worked on, these are the 2 that I worked on the most. This is Tea Time Sampler, and I got it off of Etsy at Daily Pattern Post, and this is as far as I got. Now, I'll be honest, I kind of stopped working on samplers around mid-September, like a little after mid-September. I kind of stopped. And I told myself at the beginning of this event I wasn't going to force myself to do anything that I didn't want to do. So I thought I was like, oh, I just need a break. And I always gave myself breaks over the weekend. Like I always give myself chances to work on other things. But one weekend passed by and I didn't work on my samplers. And then the whole week passed by and I barely worked on the samplers. And then another weekend passed by and I was like, well, maybe I'll get back into the samplers on the weekend. And I didn't. And then another week passed by and I still wasn't working on my samplers and I didn't want to take them out. I had stopped. I pulled back a lot on stitching because I was focusing on other things. I was writing more. I was talking about my writing more on my platforms, and I was just doing other things. And that's how I was getting my creativity out, mostly through my writing and reading. So, and when that happens, whenever I have like a spike in creativity in one of my other hobbies or interests, something kind of declines. Like right now, I'm not playing video games. Like I have not played video games in a while because I've been stitching and now I'm writing and reading. So I'm not, it's just, I probably could have gotten more done in the month of September for my samplers, but it's okay because there's always next year. And I know how I am when I'm away from something for a long enough time, but I still like that thing, I will eventually come back to it. So, oh, I didn't take it off of here, but it's okay. Not much has changed since I last showed this to you. I'm still almost done with the first page. So this is Turtle Sampler, or Turtle Quaker rather, from All Forest Embroidery. And I'm just using the DMC colors. I'm not using their variegated floss. But yeah, I think I had like no, sorry. I think I had just a few stitches down here where I am right now. And now I have a little bit more, but not much progress has been made since I last showed this to you. Once again, I still really love this stitch, but I got tired. I just worked on these things a lot for the first half of September, and I wasn't going to like stress myself out. So yeah, another thing that I worked on, and I said, okay, I want to focus on samplers, but I want to have some other stitches that just to allow myself a little flexibility. So one of the things I was working on, which I haven't shown in a long time, are my pumpkins. This is a counted cross. It's 11 count. I'm doing it with 2 strands. And it might be a little hard to see my progress because the pattern is so vibrant, but this pumpkin right here is what I've been doing. And I'll flip it over so you can see kind of more progress, or the progress a little bit more clearly. But yeah, I've I got some work done on this. And this was very relaxing. It's like I wanted to work on a stamped cross, but I didn't want to work on the underwater tapestry. And this is my seasonal stitch. I just work on it when I feel like it. It's not, I don't have any, I definitely don't see myself finishing this stitch in this autumn season. It's just something to have to work on. Now, I do have a Joy Autumn, and Joy Autumn, if you ever hear me mention Joy Autumn, it is a store in AliExpress that sells a lot of large 9-count, like kawaii, chibi, Studio Ghibli-esque cross stitch patterns, and which I've only been able to find in maybe one other place. So I'm pretty sure that this store in AliExpress is like where you get them outside of like the China mainland. So yeah, whenever you hear me talk about Joy Autumn, it's everything is in the style of my underwater tapestry. So anyway, I have a Joy Autumn piece that is Halloween themed. I got it around the time that I got this. And I know I've said this before, if you've watched my old videos, I am not a fan of like Halloween decorations, like, or just Halloween theme. I like Halloween itself, but the imagery, like the witches and the jack-o'-lanterns and the ghosts and the combination of the orange and the purple and the green and the black, the bats, the vampires, I don't really like decorating and with any of that stuff. Like, it's fun when you see it in the stores. It's fun to see all the kids dressed up when you're taking your kids and walking them around, but I don't want any of that stuff in my house. I think it's tacky. And I've always felt like that. Okay. So, but I was like, oh, I was having FOMO and I was like, let me just kind of go out of my comfort zone, because I do go out of my comfort zone with cross stitch pieces. Like, I'm not set in my ways 100% of the time. So I was like, okay, let's see. Joy Autumn, I love their pieces. If I can find one in a Halloween style, maybe I'll enjoy stitching it. Well, when it came in, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I'm like, I'm not going to stitch this. Like, I do not want to. I already have a Harvest October these are pumpkins. They're actual pumpkins. So like we're that's Halloween and it's Harvest. I don't really need to go beyond that. I do not like the colors. I do not like there's like little there's like different types of styles in the Joy Autumn family, and I don't really care for this particular type of style of chibi art. I don't have anything else that's like that, so I just hate it. So yeah, I will show that later when I talk about my stash. It won't be in this video because I got a little stash haul and I'm gonna have that for the end of this video. I'm gonna stitch it onto that, but maybe I'll talk about that later when I make another video in October. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. And everybody is probably gonna think it's super cute and Coco, why don't you like this? Like, I don't know. I can't vibe with the Halloween stuff. Like, I don't do that. So yeah, I think this is going to be my only seasonal stitch for the month of October, maybe into November. Okay. So I worked on that for a little bit. My underwater tapestry is what I have been working on the most, and I feel myself now that I can put away my samplers. I honestly don't feel like taking out my other pieces like Titus and just some of the other stuff that I had. I kind of like only working on one or two pieces at a time. So yeah, let me show you some progress on here and then I'll talk a little bit more about it. So I finished a lot of I wanted to work down to this line basically, and I did that. So I finished a lot of um, the tree, just the top section, and I'm moving just to the other side basically. And I'm going to stay at that hard line before I start moving down the line. So yeah, I got some of the water done up top and just more of the tree. And another reason why I'm going so hard on this is because I know I'm going to put this away um, in during the more Christmassy season, which the Christmas spirit kind of hits me in late November. So I want to kind of get as much of this Joy Autumn piece done as I can before I switch over to my Christmas Joy Autumn piece. It has like two Santas on there, and all of their helpers are panda bears. I've shown it one other time because I was doing Christmas in July, but I'll bring that back again and work on that basically through the Christmas holiday season. So yeah, hold on, let me just bring it in frame. Okay, I can see a little bit better now. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of um, coral confetti done. Still don't understand this camera. I've got a lot done. So right now I'm like here in this area, and this is a mermaid right here. And I've gotten her arm done, but I'm just working my way across to the other side, and then I'll go up two cells and work my way back. Um, I just find that that's like the most efficient way to handle this confetti. And yeah, I'm just enjoying myself. I love stitching on this, and I can listen to my books when I'm stitching on this. And guys, 9 count, you got to try it because it feels really rewarding. Like you'll be there for like, 2 hours and you really get to see something, you know. But the caveat is if you get a 9 count piece, it's huge. Okay, so that's all I have for stitching at the moment. I will come back with a video about my stash at the very end, or the little haul that I got that I'm adding to my stash because I had ordered some stuff from AliExpress. Okay, let me talk about my books. So, hold on, let me get my notes. Okay, I DNF'd another book. I DNF'd one of my audiobooks called the one that's a Bond Undone. Yeah, I just wasn't really, I might go back to it, but I wasn't really enjoying it. It was just very repetitive and a lot of the scenes were the same. And this is a sequel, so I had already read the first book by the same author. So I just didn't feel that bad about DNFing it because I kind of already knew like what like the direction it was going to take, and kind of, yeah, I didn't know everything that was going to happen, but I felt like we were just moving through it too slowly. And it's like it's also just not a contemporary read, and I'm already reading two other books that were like written, you know, more than like 30 years ago, so I had to kind of get rid of something to kind of free up my attention span a little bit more. I finished reading Rise of a Dark Throne by Lehia Cushman, I believe her name is. I gave this book 3 stars on Goodreads. It was, I mean, it was good in terms of it just being like a standard indie romantasy. I did like it, but there was just, I felt like it could have been better. Like it started off really strong, and like it just kind of like established everything very well in the beginning. But once the characters started interacting with each other, like there was two sides. There was like a princess who had like inherited queendom under tragic and very sudden circumstances, and then there was a prince who was second born prince, and he was like set out on a mission to bring the queen to his kingdom for diplomatic reasons. I don't want to give too much away. And all the characters were established really well, and I felt like I understood them, and I was like, oh, I can see them coming together and all this other stuff. But then when they came together, the characters and the two groups started interacting, the characters were suddenly becoming inconsistent, saying random things. At one point, I felt like all of the male characters were interchangeable with each other. Like they did not have distinct personalities anymore. Like all that stuff dissolved after a certain point in the novel. And um a lot of the like magic system kind of broke down halfway through the novel. Um which I don't need a magic system to be super complex. I'm not fact checking that kind of stuff while I'm reading, but it has to be consistent. And it kind of has to make sense. It can't be like glaringly like, oh, but why didn't they just do this? Or yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but those were the areas that I felt like the book was lacking. What I really did like was the author's description, like the world, most of the world building in the story was established through the descriptions of what the characters were wearing. And I just thought I loved I mean, what I like about romantasy is like you get the fantasy vibe, and everybody just thinks everybody is attractive and everybody's kind of flirting with everybody. I just that whole part of the book was really fun, and I loved the descriptions, and the environmental descriptions were really great as well. So yeah, 3 stars for Rise of a Dark Throne. I started another indie book. I actually have this one with me because I really wanted a physical copy of it, but it is called A Song for the Road by Catherine Labadie. Um, and I found out about this ARC, the advanced reader copy, on uh, Threads, where I talk about my own books. And this is about as far as I am. So there's my bookmark. So yeah, so I'm like 172 pages in. Loving it so far. It's really good. I mean, the main character is like a bard character, and she also has like she's chronically ill, and she has to, that's kind of like her limitation, that she kind of has to like overcome in different situations and stuff. The romantic interest is actually a dwarf, and you almost never seen like romantic fantasy pairings with dwarves. It's always elves or some other manner of fae or something. Like it's never a dwarf. And it's so cute because he actually is taller than her, but like only by a little bit. And there's also like age gap stuff in here because she's like 22 and he's 40, but in dwarf years, like 40 is like basically like a 20-year-old. So it's like it's got like tropes in it, but it just does interesting things with it. And I love the way that's written, and it just reminds me of like if you've ever read Robin Hobb, like The Assassin's Apprentice, or Patrick Rothfuss's like Name of the Wind. It has that kind of vibe going on with it. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just very cozy. It's autumnal. It goes with the season. I am very much enjoying that book. I think that I'm going to give it a really high rating when I'm finally done with it. But I'm trying to take my time because it's so good. I'm just like, oh, I'm just enjoying it so much. So yeah, that's the book that I'm reading right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch my haul video to this one, and I'll just throw this in here. But yeah, if you like the video, subscribe, and you can tell me what you think about my samplers, my progress, underwater tapestry. Are you working on any kind of seasonal pieces right now? Are they Halloween themed? Are they just like harvesty themed? So yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment sections, and until next time, I'll see you. Bye. Hi, Flosstube. I just got a package, and I thought it would be fun to open it. Well, I already opened it, because I wanted to take it out of like the baggy part. Sorry, I just ran upstairs. But I wanted to look at it for the first time, look at everything inside for the first time on camera. And here I go. So I ordered 4 things from AliExpress, and I'm pretty sure this is, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. You know, sometimes they just send you random stuff. I'm pretty sure this is, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I ordered some things from AliExpress. I'm worried that one of them did not come in the mail because I ordered 4 things, and I ordered 4 like cross stitch patterns, but I'm only seeing 3. So let me check my inbox. It says that all 4 should be in this package. They might have like combined 2 of them. Okay. So I might combine this video with I still don't want to do a what's in my stash video because I just don't want to take everything out of my stash, but whatever. This is just going to be a haul. Okay. So I got this. It does not have this artist from AliExpress, either the descriptions are in a different language or they just don't have names. Like, you can't like look them up by a specific title. So I'm calling this one Lily of the Valley because that's what that flower is. It's Lily of the Valley. And it's like all these Lily of the Valley flowers and this little girl and some animals in there. Oh, and she's like in front of like a little castle. I thought it'd be really cute to put in one of my kids' rooms. Oh, is this? No, it's the same thing. So this is a 65 by 85 centimeter, not as big as the underwater tapestry that I've been working on. I kind of don't want to pull it out. I don't want to pull it out. I just want to show the card. Because once you pull it out, then you have to fold it exactly right. This is a very cheap bag. So I don't want to pull it out until I'm ready to work on it. But yeah, that's my Lily of the Valley one. Let's see. They might have put 2 in one bag. Huh. What's going on here? Okay, this looks like it's just 1. All right, so this is another one clearly by the same artist. And I like this one because these flowers, they remind me of poppies. I don't know if they're poppies. I don't know if that's that was the flower that inspired this, the art of these flowers, but they look like poppies to me. And I have grown California poppies before, and I do not have a cross-stitch piece that features poppies right now. So I was like, I love having these kinds of cross-stitch pieces. And so I'm going to just have this one so that I can just mark off that I have one for poppies. And I also just really love the kite. I ordered another one that has kites in it, and it kind of looks like this too. I just really like how this kite looks. And I just think the colors are really sweet. And I think this would be a really fun springtime stitch. So this is big too. It's once again 65 by 85, but it's not as big as the one that I'm working on right now. Yeah, I'm not going to take this whole thing out. I'm just kind of looking at it to see the color scheme of the threads and stuff like that. This one is in like a nicer bag. It has a zipper. So yeah, I am super excited about that one. I'm going to put it back in the box. And then this is looking like the last, oh no, okay. They put two in one bag. Okay, great. So I'll talk about that one later. Oh no. I'm getting worried. Hold on. Never mind. No. I think one of my orders just didn't come in. Maybe it's gonna come later today. I don't know. That would be bad. I've never had an issue. Yeah. Okay. This one I'm probably gonna work on it in the near future, so I do want to pull it out. The other ones, I'm not working on them anytime soon. Oh. Okay. The stamping on this one is kind of light. I think I ordered it in like 16 count or something like that. Yeah, 16 count. Wow. Ooh. I've never done a cross stitch piece stamped on like anything smaller than like 14 count. Everything is either like 11 or 9 count or 14 count. So I did not realize these holes were going to be so dang small. But I wanted to get a higher fabric count so that, like, I don't even really know what is up. Okay, I get it. Okay. So, okay, I got the orientation right now. Yeah. There's a lot of confetti. There's not a whole lot of block stitching in this, which is weird. I know I haven't shown you the picture yet. I'm sorry. This is the one I was the most excited for, but it looks like it's going to be the biggest challenge. But that's okay because I really, really, really wanted this piece. This was one that I was waiting for the price to go down. Like, this one was, I think, $180 when I first saw it on AliExpress, and I think I saw it on another website, and I just can't remember which other website that was. I'm so excited though. Like, I'm gonna just put it away and then I'll show you what the pattern looks like. Okay, so this is the pattern. If you recognize the flower, yay. Those are hibiscuses, and they are my absolute 100% favorite flower. I grew up in South Florida. We had hibiscuses everywhere, and mostly the tropical looking ones. So the ones that come in like red and hot pink and yellow, and I think sometimes orange. Those were the ones we had in Florida. But then when I moved up to Maryland, where I am now, I started seeing like hibiscuses growing on like trees, and whereas I think in Florida that I saw them more on like bushes rather than trees. And then I also saw like these big white hibiscuses with like red centers, and they have like a specific name, but I can't remember. And I actually ordered some seeds. These are them right here. I ordered some seeds because I want to plant those hibiscuses, but we already had some in our yard at our old house. And some years they bloomed like lavender, and sometimes they were a little bit darker or they were a little bit more purple. Sometimes they leaned a little more blue, sometimes they leaned a little more purple. And then this year, the year that we moved, the hibiscus tree, the Rose of Sharon hibiscus tree in our yard, they bloomed white with the red center. And it was like, I got to enjoy them for like a little bit, but I was like, oh, I wish there was a summer where they had bloomed in that color, because I would have really liked to have enjoyed them in that color in my yard. I was seeing them in other neighbors' yards blooming white with red centers. So, and I don't know what gets them to do that. I think they're kind of like hydrangeas. Like, hydrangeas don't always bloom the same color every year, even though they are from the same plant. So anyway, this one has those white hibiscuses with the pink centers, and there's like they're outside of like this like Asian castle palace, which I just think is I really like that kind of like I like Eastern architecture in general, but it's kind of like my favorite some of my favorite like elements in a cross stitch piece is like flowers and like Eastern like motifs or something like that. So, oh, this one does have a name. It's called The City is Covered with Flowers. So, and it has my favorite colors in it, which is teal. Like, I don't know. Yes, you can actually tell pretty good on here. Like, the palace is teal, and there's all these like green blue hues. I'm actually really excited for this. It's going to be a little bit of an eye strain because the stamp is so light, but in color, like I'm not used to it being, I don't like it when it's super dark. Like right now I'm stitching on my pumpkins and the stamped part or the stamped ink is extremely dark, and it kind of, I wouldn't say it hurts my eyes, but it's not particularly fun to look at over a long course. And then all of the pages have been, this is if you decide to count it. If for some reason a gigantic pail of water spills on your stitch and you have to go back to counting, I'm gonna make sure I keep that handy. Okay, so this was completely impromptu, but I happened to be home without any kids today, so, and the lighting is good, and I just got the email that this all came in, so I just wanted to share, and I wanted to get my initial reaction, and I'll let you know what happens with the one that was supposed to come with all these other ones. It might come later in the day. That's happened before. I've never ordered from AliExpress and like not gotten everything that I paid for. So yeah, I'm probably going to stitch this video with one of my other videos, either at the beginning or at the end. So yeah, thanks for thanks for joining me in my very chaotic, very what is it? Spontaneous unhauling. So or haul rather. Unhauling is when you like give stuff back, right? So yeah, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.